Okay, students, in the last class we started discussion about unit 3 of your subject digital communication, and we were discussing optimum linear detector for binary polar signaling. In the last class we derived the transfer function for optimum linear detection. Considering the binary polar signaling scheme, we derived this expression and we finally concluded at the point that transfer function HF should be equal to kpf p minus f e to the power minus j 2 pi ftm snf, where p minus f is Fourier transform of pt, snf is power spectral density of noise, right, and tm is the time instant at which we are sampling, as you can see from the diagram here. At t equal to tm you are sampling. So continuing further from this point onwards, we have concluded this point that HF should have this much value, right? Only then we can say that SNR is maximized. Where K is a constant and the value of K was, the K is simply a constant, okay? Where we assume that K was what? XF is equal to KYF. Because only if we satisfy this condition, this SNR is maximum. So satisfying this condition, we are assuming K is a constant, we can say that XF is equal to KYF, and from this equation only we derived this transfer function. Okay, now the optimum receiver filter is known as matched filter, okay, because it is matching the performance and matching the output from the input to give the best output, right? So if we see this equation of transfer function HF, the filter response, we can say that there are three terms, that is P minus F, SNF and TM, on which it is depending. So that is written that the main factors are the noise power spectral density S and F, the sampling instant TM, the instant TM at which you are sampling, you can see it here, the sampling instant TM, and the third one is the pulse shape PF. PF is what? Input signal coming here is PT. It is nothing but the Fourier transform of PT is PF. So we are talking about the pulse shape PF. Okay, so these are the three main factors which we should consider to find out the filter response. Okay, now proceeding further from this equation, that HF is equal to K P minus F e to the power minus J 2 pi FTM upon SNF, the transfer, the filter response here, this one. If we assume that there is wide channel Gaussian noise, then we can say that SNF, the spectral density, power spectral density for wide Gaussian noise is well known to us is N0 by 2. So just putting this in this expression, we will get the expression as here, that is HF is equal to K times SNF is N0 by 2. So just replacing it with N0 by 2, 2 will come to the numerator side, so it is 2k by n0. Now 2k by n0, we are assuming this as a new constant, that is k dash. Okay, so we say that hf is equal to k dash, other terms are same, that is p minus f and e to the power minus j 2 pi ftm, so it is k dash p minus f e to the power minus j 2 pi ftm. Okay, so you can say that for wide Gaussian noise channel, the filter response is this, where k dash is 2k by n0. Okay, is an simply arbitrary constant, right? Now if you want to see the maximum value of signal to noise ratio P max square, you can say that it is, from the expression we know that PF square upon SNF, so SNF, the power spectral density SNF is n0 by 2, putting this value here, 2 by n0, indication PF square dF. Now if we say that PF square is what? From the Pascal's theorem we know that this term is equal to P square T dt. That means the energy of the signal. Let us say the energy of the signal is denoted as EP, is the energy of PT. So we can write it as 2 by n0 into EP. It is the maximum value of signal to noise ratio. Okay, I hope this is clear. Now let us proceed further. So we have derived and we have concluded this point that the unit impulse response HT of match filter. What is HT? This is HF, right? This is your HF, and HT is what? Just the Fourier inverse of HF. So taking Fourier inverse of this equation, that is PA minus F e to the power minus j 2 pi ftm k dash, Fourier inverse will give us HT from this HF. Okay, so HT is Fourier inverse of k dash p minus f e to the power minus j 2 pi f Tm. Okay, now Fourier inverse, when we are taking of this term, the first term is constant, so it will come out. Second term is p minus f. Now p minus f is what? P minus f is the Fourier transform of p minus t simply. Agree? As per the Fourier transform property, that if pt is pf, then p minus t will be p minus f, the Fourier transform. So simply the input signal we are getting, the transform is p minus f. The other term e to the power minus j 2 pi f Tm. If you could remember the property of Fourier transform, e to the power minus j 2 pi f Tm into x minus f is simply xf minus t minus, in time domain it is t minus t naught, that is time shifting property, right? E to the power minus j 2 pi f Tm represents the time delay of Tm seconds as per the Fourier transform shifting property. So we can say that impulse response HT is nothing but k times, since it is a constant coming out, k times Ptm, since Pf is having transform as p minus t, and at t equal to Tm you are sampling it, so it is P Tm minus t is shifted by, right? So when you are sampling at t equal to Tm, you are getting the output, the impulse response, as ht equal to k dash p Tm minus t. This is what we have concluded here, that if this is the case, this is the impulse response of this filter, then you will get optimum linear detection at the output of this. Okay, so this is what we have concluded till now. Now let us proceed further, that okay, HT we have find out, but what should be the best sampling instant? How will we decide that what is the best sampling instant? So now let us proceed further with this point. Okay, so repeating the point that HF is equal to k dash p minus f e to the power minus j 2 pi f Tm Fourier inverse. So since p minus f is the Fourier transform of p minus t, so ht is equal to k dash p Tm minus t. Agree? So if I draw the PT signal, as we started in the last lecture, in the in the starting of the last lecture, we have already drawn the PT signal, and you know the reason why we have drawn such a shape, right? So if we have drawn this PT signal, what we are saying that HT is PTM minus T with K some constant. Okay, so we are just ignoring that constant, that will be the value here as an amplitude. Okay, so Ptm minus T, that means first of all we have to do P minus T, so it is P minus T. Okay, just mirror image of this, and P minus T with Tm shift. Now this Tm we have to decide that what should be the value of this Tm, right? Here considering three cases, when first case Tm is less than the time period of the pulse T0. Okay, then it will be something like this, that is it is in between of this some portion, and remaining portion is this side in the negative side. And if Tm is equal to T0, this is the second case, that is it is exactly here from 0 to Tm, as it was here 0 to T0, if Tm is equal to T0. And the third case, if Tm is greater than T0, then it will start from this point Tm, that is T0, and it will proceed further up to 2Tm. If it is just greater than equal to T0. Okay, and later on it will be a pulse width of Tm. After this time period Tm, it will be somewhere outside. So what we can conclude from this analysis, I am first repeating the point that what we have done, we are drawing this Ptm minus T, and from this drawing we want to understand that what should be the value of this Tm. What is the best sampling instant? We want to understand this. So to understand it, what we are doing, first of all we have drawn the curve, the shape of Pt for time interval T0. Then we said okay, what will be the value of P minus T? We drawn that curve. Then we shifted it, P minus T is shifted with time Tm, taking different values of time Tm, that is Tm, three cases Tm is less than T0, second case Tm is equal to T0, and third is Tm is greater than T0. In the first case when Tm is T0, the shape is here, it is before this time period T0. Okay, when it is Tm equal to T0 exactly, so it is 0 to Tm, it is again 0 to Tm, that is Tm equal to T0. And third case is Tm is greater than T0, so it will be towards this point, right hand side of this. Okay, so what is the best value for Tm, whether it should be greater than T0, whether it should be equal to T0, or it should be less than T0. Okay, so we have to think about that. So let us proceed with this point, that what should be the optimum choice for sampling instant. So the three cases, Tm less than T0, if we see this case first, right, Tm less than T0, then this is actually the non-causal case, and so practically it is unrealizable. So we have to ignore this. Now we have left with two cases only, Tm equal to T0 and Tm greater than T0. Now if Tm is greater than T0, that means it delays the decision. If Tm is greater than T0, unnecessarily it is proceeding further after this point, and then it is convoluting, so that means it is delaying unnecessarily. And if we say that Tm equal to T0, if Tm equal to T0, that means it is for this duration for the same as the input pulse bar, so it is the best, it will give the best output, best sampling instant. So it gives the minimum delay, and hence P minus T Pf, so Ht will be equal to Kp T minus T with Tm, Tm equal to how much? T0. So Tm equal to T0 is your best sampling instant. We can conclude from this point that optimum choice for sampling instant is that Tm must be equal to the time period T of your input pulse. Clear? So this is what we have discussed today about optimum linear detector for binary polar signaling. Okay, this is, if anyone is having any doubt, you can ask, and you can read it in more detail from my notes. In the next class, we will continue further with general expression for probability of error for match filter. Okay, thank you.